What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here on my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff. I love to talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, I love to talk about it right here. And right now I want to give you guys my thoughts on the Netflix original movie Project Power. And this one kind of just took me by surprise. It kind of just popped up out of nowhere. I didn't even know this movie was coming, and then it was right there in my feed. So that's always a pleasant surprise, especially when it's good. And I'm happy to say that Project Power is a pretty good movie. It stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it's about a pill that you take this pill, and for 5 minutes it gives you a superpower. You don't know what that superpower is going to be, but it gives you a superpower. And it's very risky because some people reject the pill and they die by blowing up. But some people get a power that lasts them 5 minutes. And both Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx's characters are after the dealer of this pill, and they each have their specific reasons that they're after the dealer. And they actually get involved with a street dealer played by Dominic Fishback, and she's delightful in this movie. She's a really bright spot in this movie, playing a teenager who's dealing these pills to try to make ends meet with her family. And she was definitely a bright spot in this movie. I want to see more of her. There's a moment, maybe 2/3 of the way through the movie, where she's telling Jamie Foxx's character that she wants to be a rapper, and she starts rapping. And there's just, in a movie that's filled with action sequence, this was a moment with a lot of heart, and that really elevated the movie for me. So she was great. Keep an eye on her. I think she's gonna have some big things coming her way. This movie was, how would I describe it? A little bit The Boys. It was Our Man meets X-Men. It was Our Man meets X-Men. So Our Man from the Justice Society of America turns over his sand clock, his sand timer, and he has super strength for an hour. Their powers are only 5 minutes, and they don't know what it's going to be, and some of them are really bad. It's Our Man meets X-Men is my best way to describe it. But it's very gritty, it's very dark, it's very violent. It is a hard R-rated movie. There's gore, there's violence, there's profanity, hard R. But there was something throughout the grittiness that this movie had. There was something that was kind of whimsical and exciting about it also. This is a new take on a superhero movie. Yeah, I just said it was a mixture of Our Man and X-Men. But it's a different take on it, in the sense that these powers, I don't remember one of them being portrayed in a positive light. Like, even the ones that weren't ultimately dangerous or deadly, they involved high risk factor. And why anybody would take the pill, I mean, I get it. People would be drawn to the allure of having a power. But why anybody would even take it is beyond me, because the risk level is so high. Some of it's very very predictable. I knew going into it that certain things were going to happen, and they happened more or less how I thought they were going to happen. But that doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining, because it was entertaining through and through. Jamie Foxx does a great job playing somebody who has a very personal goal to get back to find the dealer, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt has his own reasons as well. And when they finally meet, the two of them don't meet until about 2/3 of the way through the movie. But when they finally meet, the movie really takes off, and it becomes a lot of fun. The action is good. The suspense is good. The special effects were a little questionable at times. There were some scenes that looked a little bit too CGI-ish, and the CGI wasn't as polished as it possibly could have been had it had a bigger budget, a big screen release. But overall, for the most part, you bought the special effects. This movie is a very self-contained movie. It tells a story from point A to point B and then it ends. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't open up the possibilities for a sequel. Those possibilities are there. This is a superpower movie, so it's definitely something that people are going to want to franchise, that Netflix is probably going to want to franchise. I think there's a good reason to believe. I think there's a good reason to believe that Netflix could franchise this. It was good. I'm gonna give Project Power a B plus. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of good stuff in it. Definitely set up a possibility for a franchise. Special effects were a little weak, but it was a good movie. It was a good movie. I definitely recommend checking it out. So, have you guys seen Project Power? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for joining me here at the OK Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you later.